Charlotte, and I'm a week and a half out of contest prep. So I am in prep currently, and I'm looking to do my own makeup for show day. So what I've done is I've gone to Ulta and picked a variety of different products, and I'm going to try them out here and try to create a look that I can duplicate on show day. I just want to know exactly what I'm doing, and I think just giving it a couple of test runs will really pay off. And I'm going to do my own hair as well. I hope to get on and show you a video of that too. However, I do want to preface this video by saying that face makeup, foundation, eye makeup, lip color, everything is going to be very, very different from what you normally see. As you know, or maybe you don't know, when you do a show like this, you get a spray tan, and the spray tan is extremely dark, like extremely. Bronze Cheeto. Think of that, okay? So essentially, you have to pick a makeup that is going to be darker than what you normally wear, but then you want to be able to have the ability to bronzen it up, because you don't want your face to really match your body. You want it to be a little bit lighter than your body because you want it to shine. You want to be bright. So you pick foundations that are close or similar to the color that you think your tan is going to be. However, you know, after you add, concealer and things like that, you highlight certain areas and things are a lot brighter. So it'll be a nice match without matching. Today, my body is very white and my face is going to be very dark because I do not have any tan on. I'm trying to kind of avoid self-tanning or anything right now because I'm just kind of prepping my skin, getting it ready for the spray tan. Because as you know, or may not know, spray tan is very, very important for the show. It's kind of part of the total package. And so I really do want a seamless kind of tan that really blends well and doesn't slide around. So I'm not messing around with trying to put on any kind of fake tan or anything right now. I want a really clean slate. Suffice to say, I'm going to be very white here, very dark here. It'll look very strange. However, I hope you can see how the makeup will kind of come together and just kind of imagine that I have a tan, okay? I guess we'll go ahead and start the video. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. First off, I need to make sure that I put on some of this primer lotion. I wanna make sure that I prime my face before my makeup and then set my face in between my application and then set my face after the application. I already put a little moisturizer on as well as some moisturizing eye cream just to kind of hydrate my skin. So I'm just gonna put this all over, just like that. Now I'm also not going to put it on my ears today, and I'm gonna put it on my ears on show day. And I'm also not gonna bring it up into my hairline. I'm doing this video, I'm not gonna bring it up into my hairline, but it would look really ridiculous if I did not bring the makeup into my hairline. So I will be doing that on show day. However, I'm also not gonna bring the makeup all the way down my neck, but I will on show day. I will match up my tan and not get my tan on my face. I will not have my face sprayed. It's just, you have so much more control over the way your makeup application goes on. It's just better not to get your face tan or, sprayed, because you can do it all with makeup. So I'm gonna use these two colors today. As you can tell, this is super dark and this is a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna mix the two. Once I get the tan, I'll be able to add bronzer if I need it, but it's better to start off a little bit lighter. And you also don't really want your face to match your body, if that makes sense. You want your face to be a little brighter. Just like this. I'm just gonna put it on my hand here because I'm gonna make myself a mixture. And then just know that it's gonna be a lot of makeup. So it's definitely not like your everyday makeup. And by the time we're done, it just looks like, it's like show makeup. It's like TV makeup or something like that, and probably even more so because you're under all of those bright lights. So I'm just mixing, I wet the sponge, I wet the little sponge, and then I mixed it just like that. So, and then just start applying. And sometimes I apply my eye makeup before I apply my foundation. So that kind of helps with fallout. But I think what I'll do is I'll apply most of my foundation and then I'll go back in, wipe away the fallout, and then I'll conceal. And the concealer brightens. And go ahead and take this makeup all the way under the eye. So you can see the difference. Definitely a little crazy looking. I'm not gonna go nuts up into my hairline here because it's just, you know, I don't wanna have to wash all of that out, so. Nice and even coat, and you can start out with a thin coat and build if you need to, but you can honestly build with your bronzer. So just remember that. You don't want it too heavy. Right up underneath your eyes. It's funny because I don't typically put my foundation all the way up underneath my eyes. If you've watched my Get Ready With Me or makeup application videos, you see that I like less product is more on a typical basis, but remember that the judges are far away and nothing is up close. So it does have to be nice and smooth, but certainly not perfect. Like if you're face to face, like, you know, talking up close to someone. So, and remember, creams are always with creams, and after you do the powder, it's no more creams. It goes creams and then powder, and then anything after powder, it has to be a powder product. Otherwise, you'll get blotchy and it won't be cute. I'm just gonna add just some concealer right up here, and that's gonna kind of prime my eye. So that's all I'm gonna need, and then I'm gonna put a little powder over top and then a base coat of shadow. So that's what I'm using as my primer. I'm just gonna take it all the way up to my eyebrow, all over my movable lid, and then I'm gonna make sure that I try to pat out those creased areas. Just take it completely from one side to the other and then just pat that out so it doesn't like lay into the crease. Because I'm done with the wet products on the top, I'm gonna take the powder and I'm going to lay down just a little bit of powder and then my base coat. So powder here. And the powder I'm using is Fit Me powder. You wanna try to get a powder that does not reflect light. Be really careful with all of this cream base. You don't want that powder to fall onto the cream because it will become blotchy once you start using the cream and then the powder and then the cream and then the powder. So always cream before your powder. Once you start using powder, you've got to stay away from the cream, okay? Blank Type, and this is by MAC. This is a really good base coat color. It's not white, it's not yellow, it's kind of a cream, and it almost matches what I already have on right now. So it's, you know, you're not gonna see it very much, but it is a nice, smooth base that you can then glide all the other shadows on over it. A fluffy brush. Trust me, this is gonna come together. It looks wild, but. So I have got the palette Jaclyn Hill by Morphe, and inside, there's plenty of neutral colors, and it's kind of a neutral type look that I'm going for, like this right here. So this color right here, the third color in, if you happen to get this palette, start in that crease and actually go above the crease. And this is actually a really good trick for hooded eyes too. You just wanna make sure that you get that color payoff on the top of the crease as well. Because the more lightness that you put on a hooded eye, the more it kind of pops out at you. Make on the other side. And keep in mind that this is gonna be this transition color that I'm gonna keep on picking this brush up to blend with. So whatever I blend out is gonna have a little bit of this transition color in it, and that just helps it blend so much better. Kind of make it a little bit like a cat eye. That's what I'm looking for, that kind of glam type of look. So it will kind of end up looking a little more like a cat eye, which I really like that look. It's very glamorous, and I think it'll look great for stage. I'm just gonna dip into the color right beneath it, and it's just a little deeper. So the key is gradually into more colors and make the color scheme match. Be all warm or all cool. I mean, I'm certain that there's some people that break the rule and it works out, but I'm just saying as a rule. Down into the corner, up into a point, swirl in, just like that. There's lots of warm colors in this palette, but this is my trusty warm that I absolutely love. This is by Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat. And I just want to let you know that you do not have to get these palettes. I'm showing you the color variation that I'm going to use for my show, but you know, you certainly can use what you have. I'm not telling you should go out and get another palette, but this is a really, really pretty neutral color scheme that I think you'll be really happy with. Just a little bit darker, right? But you see how we're just doing this little by little. We're taking our time, and we don't have to be overly concerned about the fallout because we're gonna clean that up. So just concentrate on blending. You really can't blend enough, to be honest with you. You can just pull that up, pull it up, pull it out. Just pull it up and pull it out, just like that. If you're under stage lights, it really does kind of make your eyebrows disappear. You really have to use something so much darker than what you would on an everyday basis. You have to define your eyebrows because it really does shape your face. I do feel like my eyebrows were a little bit washed out last year. And under those lights, you need a lot of makeup for it to show up. So, and it's a whole package. I mean, they're looking at your makeup too. So your makeup shouldn't distract from your physique, your nails, your hair, but it's all part of the package. So they do pay attention to the total package. I'm gonna take a little bit of a denser brush here. It's a little more of a compact kind of contour brush. And I'm gonna take that into the darker color here. Tap it in a V along the corner of that eye. Just tap it in a V. Take that brush with all of the colors on it, and you're gonna just swirl. And keep it closer to the corner this time. I really want that color pigment to be focused in on the corner of the eye. And then on the other side too. And you can't blend too much, so just blend as much as you can until you see all of the harsh lines disappear. You'll kind of blend together. And you just swirl. Now I'm gonna take the darkest brown. It's kind of an espresso brown. I'm gonna just dab it, and I'm gonna really focus on the corners now. So very, very thin line in a upward motion. You're slanting your brush upward just a little bit. And then you're gonna take that transition brush. You're going to just blend ever so slightly, keep it in the corner. It's really, really condensed right there. And you don't want to bring that over to darken the entire eye. You want that center to stay a little bit lighter. Keep those corners really dark, deep and dark here. And then put the transition color back on the brush, the first transition color that we chose, that's the third light brown in. Blend everything nicely, just like that. I really love those neutral colors. So gorgeous. Now I'm thinking we should do the eyebrows. First I'm using the Milani. This is called Brow Fix. This is my very favorite. Outline the brow. I've got this angled brush here that comes with it. You can also use your own angled brush, but I'm using the darkest color, by the way. It's kind of like a taupey espresso. It's the darker color, and I find that that is just so rich and pretty. Take it up, just like that. I do more than just fill in my brows, by the way. I mean, I don't just fill in what is missing. I actually make the brows a little bit bigger. I'm not drawing individual hairs. I'm literally just shaping the brow right now, top and bottom. Don't worry if we look like Groucho, because we can fix those. Just like that. Remember, you don't want your eyebrows to disappear under the lights. And that's what will happen. When you think they're too dark, they're probably just right. There we go. This is NYX Fill and Fluff. So it's kind of a dark brown. It's kind of a taupey brown actually. Got an angled liner that comes out. And then it's got a smudge brush. I'm using that to kind of, I guess, fill in, just like filling in now that I've outlined it with the powder. Now I'm just filling in just like this. And we will go back and kind of etch the eyebrow out because that's important. You don't want to keep it thick like this necessarily. And just kind of brush through, just like that. I'm just using this concealer from MAC. It's just my regular shade. I mean, I'm not doing anything dark or anything. It's a regular shade. And you can see the brow before I etch it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can do it to where you can see me. So you just kind of, look, take that line and etch it. This really cleans things up too. It's so pretty. Such a great little trick. So you don't have to be like perfect on your eyebrows, you know? And then after you do that, remember to pat it out just like that. You're gonna wanna pat out any of the lines that you just made because you don't want that separation. You want it to blend. And then you do the same to the top. So you just see what I've done there? You're literally shaping your brow, just like that. I mean, that looks so much better. I'll do the other side and then I'll come right back. Okay, so the eyebrows are done. They just have to be like sisters, not twins. So if you've heard that saying before, they don't have to look exactly the same, but certainly complement each other. But I might add just a little touch of kind of a reddish orange here and see how that works out. It's nothing crazy. It's literally just the tiniest bit. It just kind of creates a little bit more drama. And I will blend, make sure that everything is blended nicely. So I'm going to this creates a highlight without creating shine. So you want to use minimal shine when you're on stage. You don't want your face to look like metallic, you know? So it's really important that you try to minimize your highlighting, at least with the shimmer powders. And I'm just gonna blend it in. Try not to get your concealer on your eyebrows that you just did. We haven't used powder yet because that's when you start getting really blotchy, is if you mix the two. So this contour stick is a Stila stick and it is blush and bronze, and run it through right up here, the forehead, right here. And then I'm gonna run it on both sides of my nose, just like that. And then I'm going to run it right down the cheek here, not too far. I do not want my blush to go down into here. So this is about where I'm gonna put my blush, like right above it. You can outline your jaw as well to chisel it out, just like that. The blush. On both sides, just like that. Okay, that is a gorgeous blush, I must say. We're gonna take my bronzing brush and we're just gonna kind of swirl, just like this. Wet sponge, and you're going to begin to mix through here. Just like that. And I am going to cover that spot in a moment, but we're not finished. So you can just get like, you can use a sponge, you can kind of help blend it with a foundation brush, but it's very smooth. As long as you don't mix powder with cream products. That's the key. Of e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Just a little on my finger. And then I'm going to wipe it ever so gently on the spot. Okay, and then after that, let it dry just a little. Now that that's done, I'm going to spray. So I'm going to spray with Morphe Mini Continuous Prep and Set Mist. So before I put my powder on, I'm gonna spray and dry. Or sponge, just like that. And I'm gonna take my powder. This one is one that I don't think that you get a glow. You don't think you get a flashback with Fit Me. So I'm gonna be using this Fit Me, and I'm gonna get some on here and almost bake my under eyes, okay? Yes, I know. You're like, we don't bake, but we do. So you just bake it for now, okay? Don't worry, we'll wipe away and wipe it down here. It creates a highlight. Get a powder brush. You don't have to keep that on for very long, by the way. And gently set most of the other makeup, just like that. And this is, let's see. This is 10, this is Fair Light. So it's almost like a translucent, but don't worry, we're going back in. Now that our powder is on, we're gonna switch gears and use powder products, okay? Just like that. It's kind of like a felt tip marker, black. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start from the corner, just like that. It's at an angle, I hope you can see it. So Once that's dry, we're just going to use your favorite black. You're gonna wanna tight line the waterline on the top so it really shows off your eyelashes, okay? It kind of accentuates them. Curl the lashes. I'm gonna go for the one inside of that and then the one beside that. That's where I'm going with that. Lining 3/4 of the outside of your eye. You're tracing your eye on the bottom. Keep the eye clear right through here. And I'm gonna do the other side. So that you're connecting. A white eyeliner, put this into the waterline. It really makes the eyes pop. See the difference? Before we put the mascara on, we're gonna do some more bronzing. Benefit, this is Hula Toasted. That's the shade of this bronzer. But you can see how bronzy, orangey red it is? Yeah, that's like the tan color. So I'm just gonna start swirling until I find that I feel dark enough, okay? But you can see how you can just add to it. So you don't have to start out with something super dark, you know, as far as like your foundation, but something darker than what you typically wear. And then you can add all of the bronzer that you need. So just know that once I get my tan, I could really intensify this with this. I guess for the sake of the video, I won't go too dark. Just know that you can, this is very buildable. So you can make it like as dark as you want it. It's already pretty dark. Today I'm using Lash Paradise. You want thick, full lashes, but if they're really long, they tend to cause a shadow on the rest of your eye. So when you select your false lashes, they're on the full side, not the long side. So that's key. So I'm gonna go ahead and this has a nice fluffy brush on it. Keeps them really full. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cover my top lashes. The brush is really easy to work with. So if you haven't tried this, it's really good. And it also has a base that you can buy separately. A little of this blush. I'm gonna take both the darker and lighter, and I'm just going to hit those cheeks again. I don't wanna come past those lines right there. I wanna keep it high so that it keeps the face high. And now's the time where I'm gonna also build a little more on the eyeshadow. So we already set it once, and now we're using the powder products. I showed you earlier that I have this contour stick with blush on one side, and it's beautiful. So I use the contour side, now I'm using the blush side. Now, I just told you that you don't use powder with creams, but I'm not gonna rub anything. I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna tap just like that. And this is really gonna bring things out. I love this. I think it's so beautiful. It really does create more drama on the eyes if you put a little bit of this on. So just make sure you pat instead of rub. But is that beautiful? It really is. It's so pretty, especially when you put the lipstick on, it really all comes together. So as you can see, things are darkening up, and I'm noticing that I kind of feel like my eyebrows are starting to go away just because I've got more makeup on now. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply just a little bit more. There, this is Stila, and this is beautiful. This is a really pretty glittery shadow, but if you are gonna add glitter, you can, there's one place you do wanna add it for stage, and that is to the corner of your eye as well as the inner part of your movable eyelid, and try to be careful of that liner. You don't want to move that liner that you just used. So I just want to show you what a beautiful bringing it up just slightly on the inner and then down the corner. It's really pretty. Wispies by Ardell. Make sure you cut your lashes to fit your eye. Paint your glue on, and then you're gonna wanna let it hang out for about 30 seconds before you apply it. You want it to get tacky. This is the type of glue I like. I like the glue that's got a little brush on it, because you can kind of, you have some control over the product. Now I'm going to add just a little bit more eyeliner underneath, which with this eyeshadow here, still on this brush, I'm just swiping it over. So you kind of just add as you go, like if something looks like it's like disappearing with the rest of the makeup. So this liner is like Kylie liner, and it's kind of a mauvey purple. I hope you can see that. It's not nude. It looks a little bit lighter than it really is, but you want something that kind of stands out on stage. So if I were to go with like a nude, it would really just, it would just wash out. You know, you just need something a little bit darker, but not too dark. So I'm gonna go ahead. And go ahead and overline, no problem. Now I'm using NYX. This is Lingerie XXL. Pretty, pretty. I'm gonna add another lip liner. This is LA Girl, and it's kind of a mauvey pinkish purple. I'm going to add just a little bit of a highlight in the middle. It's just this is kind of a nude, but it really works nicely. I bought this at Ulta. It's really pretty, and I saved the inside of my eye for it. So right in the inner corner. Ooh. That's really pretty. The last thing I have to do is take this again. This is the second time I'm spraying my face. There we go. That's the look.